Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.
What it do? DJ Hitch, how are ya?
Easy, you?
How's it going? How's the week been?
Been classic.
Classic? That's the first time ever I've ever heard you saying your week has been classic. It's always ratchet, extreme, you've done nonsense. Anyway, karibuni guys to the stage with Sandra and DJ Hitch. Another top tier Friday, beginning of good vibes. But as you can see, clearly we're on location this time around. Tumechange kutoka studio. Tumeleta watu mali kuna hype.
I tell you.
Look how cute. First of all, are you seeing how cute I look, Hitch? Can we just please address that for a second? Nikona market. So guys, a lot of crazy things have happened. We had our launch last week. Epic vibes, amazing performances. The Icon Radio launch at Wama. Top tier vibes. If you missed it, peace, bro. You let the system down. But we welcome you regardless for the next one. It's all right. And then we've had a lot of crazy ass stories. So I'm going to let you guys know. Okay, so in studio today, I'm going to have a thought-provoking conversation. So if you know you're not ready to have your mind changed kidogo or to understand that there's other perspectives available in this world, please kindly, you can log off now. Or if you think you've got the guts to maintain and maybe give me your counter arguments later on or throughout the show, that's fine as well. We've got Wakenya in the building.
Thank you.
Who, as what I've seen her being described as is, she is a canvas, a tattooed canvas. She's walking art basically, and I'm sure you can visually see why we're saying that. And I think one of the coolest things that I've come to learn about her that you guys are gonna know about kidogo a bit later on the show is how much she really is the definition of thought-provoking. Yeah? So you think you have an attitude or an idea in your mind, and she'll challenge you. You might get pissed off and catch feelings.
Yes, the feelings are always caught.
You will catch feelings, but I suggest you figure out how you deal with your feelings because she really doesn't care, to be 1,000% honest.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. So welcome, Wakenya.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Asante sana.
There's a lovely gentleman sitting next to you.
Yep.
How's it going?
By the name of Scott, who is her partner.
Yep.
He's my tomato.
Okay, so I've never heard anybody referring to their person as vegetable stroke fruit, but here we are.
You're my potato.
As I told you guys, not provoking. You guys are used to saying babe, boo, baby, blah blah blah. She's like, yeah, that's my tomato. So you see what I mean? Right off the jump, she's on that. So we're gonna have a really intense conversation with her about, you know, like her different experiences, especially living in the States, being pro guns.
Hey, pew pew.
Which I know all of you are going to be like, you say what now? I'm like, yeah. She's a conservative who voted for Trump.
Yep.
So it's really, I know for most of you are like, this already is going south in every possible way, but here we are. Then now, our character development topic of this week, my guys. As you know, that's my favorite segment on our show. This week, let me give you guys the scenario at hand. Friend of mine, a dude, has been dating some girl for like 3 years. Obviously the relationship started when COVID started. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm not sure if that's okay, but here we are. Dates this Chile. This girl then proceeds, like it was his birthday a couple of weeks back. Mm-hmm. So, she comes over. She's done like a whole like hangout at an Airbnb, gotten all his boys to come through.
Yeah.
It's like a fun time. So the time for gifting him comes. And she's given him a gift, and it's like really this super intense like bracelet and super fancy. And the guys look at this bracelet, but he's like, well, I feel like I've seen this somewhere. But he's not, he can't put it together. You know, there's liquor, he's in love, whatever. He's not really putting it together. So like 4-5 days later, he shikanishas, or rather he understands where he's seen this bracelet. Mm-hmm. This was actually his boy's bracelet. So this girl had given it to the friend because they've been doing things.
Yes.
And so when their breakup happened with this dude, as the friend, he gave her back that bracelet, like, I'm done with you, take all your stuff back. And this girl had the audacity
to recycle
and give it to her actual boyfriend publicly in a room with all of his friends. So he's been asking me, Sandra, what am I supposed to do? I'm really in love with her, blah blah blah. I'm like, naturally for me, I'm out. Like, I'm out, thanks, it's been real. Because the disrespect,
the audacity
is beyond understanding. But he's still sitting on the fence. So we're going to talk about that later. And I want you guys to send me your messages or whatever. If any of you have ever found yourselves in such a situation, and how you dealt with it, how you overcame it. So yeah, my guys, top tier banter today, epic guest in studio, really good character development topic, and I really want to know your points of view and your experiences. So pull up in the next link. We'll see you shortly. You're on the stage with Sandra and DJ Hitch.
Icon Radio.
Welcome back, guys, to the stage with Sandra and DJ Hitch on Icon Radio. That's Icon Radio KE on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or www.iconradio.co.ke. So we're back with Scott and Wakenya.
Yeah.
So, my love, I'm starting with my love so that, when the arguing starts later.
I remember that you love me.
There you go. How did this alternative perspective for you begin?
Oh, on BLM or?
On everything. Like, for you to have been, obviously, you're from Kenya.
Yep.
Experience everything you went through, go to the States.
Yeah.
Naturally, everyone would assume you're liberal Democrat, you're Team Obama strong.
I was very Team Obama
right?
strong. Wait. Hey. He's
so
our guy.
You sound like every Luo.
I know.
You sound like every Luo guy.
We claimed him.
Everyone has some relation. He's my cousin from my third mom's. Whoa. Anyway, so what made you change your mind, essentially?
Right. So that's it. How long do I have to converse about
Let's
this?
do it. Tell us.
We'll pull
I
up
want
your
them to
tea.
understand you first before they start shooting you.
Judging
with
me and
unnecessary
catching
things.
feelings. Sour. So I got to the States in 2013. Obama was still president at the time. I didn't quite understand US politics. I wasn't really involved. I didn't really care. So we're Kenyans. I barely gave a crap about Kenyan politics.
You're like,
so
I'm here to work.
I was
That's
like, me, exactly. But with time, it was just watching the candidates. I'm like, what's going on here? The biggest point in time that made all this happen was BLM.
Okay, the Black
Lives Matter movement was a huge pivotal time for me because it seemed, and like you said, it seems, it's for a good cause. We are fighting for black lives. The black men are being shot aimlessly on the streets for being black. And I'm like, you guys. Then I started delving deeper into it. Actually, I had a friend challenge me. He's very much a conservative.
Okay.
He told me, Wakenya, do this. Because they're so open-minded, right? He told me, okay, are you willing to read an article on BLM? I was like, is it negative? He was like, just have an open mind. Read it. Just read it with an open mind and see. And when I read it, I was like, you know what? This is true. They're not about black lives. They're about rioting. They're about vengeance. It's all shenanigans that don't make any sense. And with time, I learned within the community itself, there's so much toxicity.
Yeah.
They don't care about their own lives unless a white policeman is involved.
All right.
And then that to me just started sparking a lot of questions. But ironically, apparently my viewpoint, so I don't know if you know what socialism is, where the government gives people handouts.
Yes.
It's really huge in America.
Yes.
And that socialism is very much a Democrat liberal thing.
Yeah.
It's not a conservative thing.
Yeah.
Conservatives are like, you can make the fish. Here is
the
the skill,
tools,
make the
it.
fish.
Yeah.
The Democrats are, here is the fish. Keep feeding you the fish. Keep voting for me. So I realized I had an argument with someone. I was like, why do these people always get handouts? Wako na mikono, wako na miguu. They don't want to go to work. Why are you sitting at home collecting food stamps? Na mimi nenda kazi. And I'm an immigrant here. And I can't get benefits because I'm an immigrant. I was not a citizen at the time.
Yes.
Then apparently he told me, you know what, I think you're conservative. I was like, there's no way. He's like, yeah, you are. He said, you hate handouts, you're conservative. You just don't realize it.
Yeah.
So it was like a process. But eventually I realized I'm very much conservative.
No, and I agree with you, especially with the point you've said in terms of like socialism.
Right.
Because I feel like I don't know if you're familiar with like how South Africa works and stuff like that. It's my biggest problem also, South Africans, because, this is obviously a different version of Black Lives Matter for South Africans, because it comes in the form of xenophobia.
Right. A lot of
in
it.
terms of any foreigner who's black
and
is here taking our work
and our money,
taking our money,
and our jobs.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, no, I came here, went to university, you have free education, I had to pay for me to be in the same uni as you had it for free. Then I got there was a job that was listed. I applied. You had the same opportunity to do the same application. You opted not to.
Yes.
I have worked for the last 5-10 years. I've built myself up.
Yep.
You are still waiting for the government to give you money. And even with South Africa, I don't know if it works the same in America. With Southern Africa, even with Botswana, the more kids you have,
the more money
you get.
Yep, same.
So I was in university for the 3 years and then did the 4th year for my master's. And in that time, the people I started with, by the time I was done with uni, one girl had like 5 kids. And literally it's because her idea was, I'm going to go back home and the government has to send me money for 6 people.
For each child,
Do you
you
get
get
what I
a
mean?
credit.
Because it's me, my
Same
man, plus
thing.
4 kids. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
And that really blew my mind because I remember sitting there thinking, first of all, I'm so scared already of just the possibility of being pregnant. And here you are,
Producing.
for the purpose of the government to fund it. So with that, I'm in complete agreement with you.
Yep.
But when you say that they only concerned when a white cop is involved, what do you mean?
That's the only time any news articles are brought up or any rioting happens. If it's a black police officer, nothing ever
Nothing
comes
happens.
about it.
Facts.
Or if it's a gang shooting. Yeah.
Okay, no, and okay. So I understand what you. Okay, because I thought you meant like nobody cares if it's a black cop who shoots another black person for fun.
No,
or
the
whatever.
news media doesn't
They
want to
doesn't
cover
cover
that.
it,
It doesn't
yes.
have enough value.
But do you think that's a problem with the black people, or is that part of the bigger conversation of what's newsworthy?
Though the media is definitely the biggest issue when it
Yeah.
comes to that. The issue that we have with the BLM community is the amount of pride that they have, the empowerment of pride through being black,
Yeah.
creates racism towards white and it creates division.
Agreed.
So when they're being told, hey, white people are your enemy, white cops, white people, racism is happening to you, well, then they're creating a divide with saying, well, we don't like white people anymore.
Yes.
So it's just the group is creating such an empowerment through pride in being black.
Yep.
And without pride in race, there would be no racism. There couldn't be.
Agreed.
It wouldn't exist.
Agreed.
And that's the
Agreed.
issue. It's an empowerment of pride in your race.
And your
White
skin
people
tone.
used to do that, and obviously we had the KKK in America.
Yes,
that was
yes.
white pride. Now we have
Yeah.
black pride. But we're promoting it through the media, saying you should be proud. You should be proud to be black. All we're doing is creating division and enemies.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to promote on our platform is, hey, who cares what color you are? We're human race.
Agreed. But that's why I think when the Black Lives Matter movement started,
Right.
there was this, and I think it's still going on now, where it was all lives matter.
Yes.
There was that counter argument where,
Yep.
and I think it was especially when the Asian attacks started. What was the cause of? I forget. What triggered the Asian attacks? Was it COVID?
I don't.
That
Yeah,
everyone
it
started
was
being-
COVID.
everyone started
Yeah,
being
yeah, it
racist
was all
to-
the Asian flu
Yes,
and
it's the Asian flu, and everyone started being, and then all of a sudden it became all lives matter. But in the back of my mind, okay, when the Black Lives Matter, I was like, yeah, I get it. We all have
Yeah.
been disadvantaged for a long time. But I can tell you for free, as Africans watching, we were all so confused because we were like, what, you guys are getting that now? You know what I mean? Like, I was like,
Right.
now is when you're thinking that, my life matters because I'm black. I was like, what?
Right.
But then we're like, okay, we're with you, we get it. Obviously, with like being African and living here, it was really, it's really stressful when you see those crazy things of go back to your country, go
Yep.
back to your villages, and then you see black people as well responding with things. Man, let me pack my suitcase. How much is a trip to Africa? And I'm like, bro, first of all, we're numerous countries, so you need to figure out where you're going to.
54.
Because I used to see some of those comments. I need to go back to my motherland, and when it's like, and their
They can't
version is
survive a
just
day
they're
in
just
the
gonna land
motherland. Aye.
in one place, and then that's home.
Yeah.
So I was like, you don't even know what you're saying, but you're saying it. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, with all you're saying, Scott, in terms of it breeds racism, in my opinion, the most pivotal example of that was the Justice Smollett situation. He went and staged a whole racist attack and tagged Trump on it with his, the guys who
And people
shouted
ate
MAGA
into it, yep.
and blah, blah, blah. And there was this whole cry. And his was even more severe because it wasn't only that you're black, that you're famous, wealthy, and black, but on top of that, you're gay. So it was like, oh my God,
Right.
3 of your rights have just been violated just on the basis of your skin color.
And your
you understand?
minoritiness.
And you know what I mean? Because you're 0.5 essentially.
Right.
And I
Right.
remember even when the verdict came out, I was one of the people who posted on my page, and I was like, I laughed because the first time when it came out, I was like, this makes no sense. I'm like, I don't understand how a whole Justice Smollett was walking, buying, I don't know, a taco.
And
And
then,
some guys showed up, tried to pour acid on him, beat him up. I was
Right.
like, this makes no sense. And everyone was like, Sandra, you need to just understand. I was like, no, you
It's
guys
not our problem,
think
you don't
about
understand.
it. I was like, you need to think about it practically for
Critical
a second.
thinking.
And actually ask yourself if this is actually a thing that can happen. If it was like somewhere in Kariobangi, I'm
I
like,
can
yeah,
see
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
high crime
I'm like, you
area,
went to
you
buy
know.
some mutura, it went south.
Maze,
Sour.
it happens.
But I'm like, no, this is a, like, when I say famous, I mean like he's like A-list famous.
Right.
So this doesn't make no sense. And so when the verdict came out and we found out that he had lied, and even his whole family was like, oh my God. I was like, so guys, like I said, that smelled wrong from the beginning. It was
Yup.
literally him buying into this whole Black Lives Matter, we've got all this movement happening.
We are victims.
We're victims.
Yep.
Everyone's attacking us. So if I say I'm being attacked, this is like this is
And
this is
guess
the end
what?
of the
The
call.
whole Gen Z in America, okay, I won't say
Yeah.
all of them, but a majority.
Yeah.
That's all they think all day.
Yep.
24/7.
Oh, you're black. You don't realize. I'm like, no, I'm not black. I'm chocolate, first of all. Secondly, I am African. I'm not black. In Africa, we're not obsessed with skin tone like you.
Yeah.
You know? Then they get mad at me. Oh, you hate your blackness. No, honey, I love it. I just don't use it to identify myself.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
limit myself and choose who I'm going to date. At yo, they are white. I'm not going to date them.
Makes no sense. Makes
Yeah.
no sense.
Yeah, and think of it this way: all of the media companies that were covering the Smollett case
Yeah.
while he was saying this was bad, that was happening to him,
Yeah.
they were all sympathizing him. But as soon as it came out that he was lying,
Yeah.
they dropped it. They didn't talk about it
They
anymore.
didn't talk about the
Yeah.
fact that he had been lying.
Yeah,
Nope.
you have to see there's some kind of agenda that they're trying to
Why are
divide.
they not
coming
out
and
something.
saying he lied?
Yeah,
It was
there's
wrong.
a reason for it.
But why do you think that's part of the agenda?
Because if you can, victimhood creates votes. It creates power. As long as Adolf Hitler did this, I don't want to bring this up.
No, please,
Yeah,
please.
Adolf Hitler, he used to take the Germans and say, "Hey, we're victims because of the Jews are doing
Yeah,
this."
yeah, yeah.
You know, and he created an empowerment through being German,
Yes.
separating themselves from the Jews.
Yes.
Well, then he made this division to want to hate the Jews, which
Yeah.
made the German people want to be with him.
Yeah.
You know, he built up pride.
Yeah.
Pride just takes away all your rationality. It's emotional. It's the one of the most emotional
Feelings.
feelings you can get, just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
love.
Yeah.
You know, and then he got people to not think but to feel,
Feel,
yeah.
and
and
attack
hate.
Yeah.
the Jewish people because
Yeah.
it's the same thing. As long as you can take people's minds away, you can have them do whatever you want.
Facts. And that's why,
Brainwashing.
and it's gonna sound crazy, but that's why for very like one of my heroes in my mind is Hitler. Not because of the atrocities, but in the back of my mind I always tell people, listen, he didn't actively go and kill the millions of Jews. He told people,
And
hey,
they just
love
sure.
being German, F everybody else.
You know, it's not German.
That, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you can't be mad at that. It's the same way if we go and like wake up tomorrow and just decide and say, hey, all plus size women, love yourselves and everyone else ain't it.
Right.
Automatically, you know what you're going to do is you're going to like segment them like this is more beautiful than
Division,
this.
yep.
So you're gonna have a whole bunch of people going to stuff their faces like McDonald's
Yep.
for
Because
like
it's
2 years to
sexy,
get on
it's
the
a
same
new-
level. You understand what I'm
yeah.
trying to say?
Yep.
Same reason. So I'm like, you can't be mad at the guy for seeing the loophole and how to manipulate it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really fault somebody on that. It's evil of them 100%. But is it really something wrong?
Evil
I'm like, nah,
mastermind.
because other people do it in different ways that we let them get away with it.
BLM does it all the
You
time.
understand?
Yep.
And now with what you said in terms of like black people, with like killing each other in the gangs and stuff. I was very late to the hip hop culture and party.
Right.
Very, very late.
Yeah.
Because I really grew up Team Backstreet Boys, Westlife. I was
Same, honey,
that was
same.
my thing. So
Yep.
by the time I started to even listen to your Tupacs and blah blah blah, was very late, and I think it was about like 14. And I was so confused, and I remember going to my mom one time and I was like, Mom, listen, I need to listen to a song because maybe I'm just not understanding what are these people talking about. Naturally, my mom's reaction was, first of all, you've never grown up in the project, so you can't relate.
Exactly.
I never want to hear you use the word like this and this to refer to. So she shut it down.
Yeah.
But now later, as I got older, I was like, you guys, you're here advocating and fighting for the purpose of Black lives, but you're not holding yourselves up to the standard you want everybody else to hold up to.
Accountable. Yes.
You understand?
Yep.
Because you can't say
100%.
that, but you're on the same platform celebrating
And
something
pushing
as
that negative
that
culture.
negative culture. You know what I mean? I'm
She
like,
gets
why
it.
is that? And that's when I started to see the loopholes in myself within the Black Lives Matter movement, because I was like, it's one-sided. It's like we're advocating because of the skin color and for pushing the agenda of everyone is racist towards us, but you're still indulging in the
Yep.
businesses, operations
That are hurting the black
industries
community.
that are still hurting the black community.
Thank you.
So I was like, no, this is not a foolproof plan.
Yeah.
This is a very short-term thought out plan.
Yeah.
Because within 5-10 years, it will mean nothing. Because
Yeah.
everyone has
Exactly.
done the complete opposite.
Exactly.
You
Right.
understand? So it took a long time. And I know a lot of guys are gonna be like, what the hell, Sandra? What do you mean? I'm like, but guys, if you just take your feelings out of a lot
Out of the
things,
equation, it's facts, not feelings. Thank
and start
you.
thinking that 1 + 1 = 2,
Right.
you will arrive at the
You'll
promised land
see,
where we're
yeah.
at. You know what I mean?
Also, one more thing, BLM
Yeah.
happens every 4 years. every 4 years on
Election
the
time.
dot. Election time.
Election time.
Yep.
Actually, bus in and show up. I'm like, yeah, the people, black people, stop dying. Like,
Or like what happened in the last, like we were cool for 4 years.
I learned that.
until
I was
now.
like, oh, okay, I see what's going on
That's
here.
crazy.
It was so many factors that brought, and I was just, my eyes just opened. Then my best moment was when I saw a black American
Yeah.
making a video saying how, he said, I have a question for you, black America. Why do immigrants from Africa and other places like Haiti,
yeah.
why do they come to America, live in the ghetto with you, succeed,
Yeah.
leave you in the ghetto,
leave you there.
move out?
Yeah.
But everyone is systemically racist. How?
culture.
It's
That's-
culture.
it's
it
just
is your
culture.
culture. It's your
Yeah,
mindset.
yeah.
I was like,
Facts.
my
Mind
people.
blown. You're the to-do moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, such a freaking good conversation. Hitch has contributed to nothing. But we love you, bro. We love you
Moral
regardless.
support.
Anyway, let's get into some music
I'm learning over here.
to get guys back in good moods. What you could catch feelings, catch you back in a little bit, my
Icon Radio.
Yo, Hitch is on fire this Friday.
yeah, you know how we
Karibuni guys on the
do.
stage.
Asante
With
sana.
Wakenya and Scott.
So,
You guys have started a lot of fires on my DMs. Thanks.
boy.
What are DM? TikTok.
I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm not on TikTok by the grace of God. Thanks. I dodged that bullet. Actually, speaking of TikTok, you guys told me earlier you all met on TikTok.
Yep.
Yes.
Please explain to me how that happens. Like, okay, because I get it's like almost like Instagram, no? So it's like 2 users.
Uh-huh.
So how does that happen? Like you just started like liking each other's videos?
well, so I actually had TikTok for a couple of years, and it was more of a fun family account. Well, I decided one day I was
family
like, you know what? I'm going to start making like a political social issue page because I'm
Very
passionate about
controversial.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My very first video that I made that absolutely blew up and was hated was why I don't support BLM.
BLM and the hypocrisy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
oh, that's what you literally like termed it.
Yeah.
Wow, you were really you were really. out
it
here.
was hated.
And
It was,
he's white.
yeah,
That's
it was,
why I'm like, I'm surprised nobody came and like threw acid on your doorstep. Like,
they might
oh
as
my
well
God.
have. They tried to cancel me. They have canceled about 6 of my accounts in there already.
What?
Yeah. So right away I got the, oh, you're racist. How can you not support BLM? And I tried to explain it to them. You know, it's about a matter of pride.
Yes.
You know, I feel the same about feminism and LGBT. I
Yeah.
support everything they stand for. I
But
just don't support the
the
pride
pride
of the
in the-
movements because it
Okay.
creates more division in sex, race, whatever.
Actually, that's very true, especially now in Kenya. You're right about that in terms of LGBTQ plus community because we've got a massive rise happening right now
Yeah.
and an advocation for like the
Gay
growth of it and
rights
like allowances and freedoms and so on.
Right,
And what
yeah.
it's created is almost this thing where if you have a different perspective, about
You are
LGBTQ+,
homophobic.
You're automatic. That's
Yep.
what you're coined automatically.
Same thing in
And it's
America.
like,
Oh, it's
nah.
coming to Kenya now.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's happening right now.
Yeah.
Prevalent, like it's everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's a thing. So if you don't support it automatically.
So,
You're just being you're like homophobic. You're out to attack people.
Exactly.
And for me, because I'm also just as long as it doesn't bother me,
You
it's
do
whatever.
you.
And when I started that, I started getting a lot of like DMs from
Yep.
people saying, "Oh my God, so you're now a lesbian. You know you don't like men. You think you're going to die with these women." And I was like,
Kenyans.
what? I was like, first of all, settle down.
Chill out.
I don't know what all this. So I was just doing block and report because it's
Yeah,
crazy.
you have to.
Okay, so
Well,
good on you guys for finding love on an app that everyone.
I
on
found him
adults.
technically
Yeah, she found me.
on
Oh,
his
is it?
FYP page.
Yeah,
Okay,
For you page.
okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I made this video. I got a lot of people DMing me saying,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, I never viewed it this way. You just
Yeah.
totally opened up my mind.
Yeah.
I was one way, now I'm another."
Yeah.
Well, everybody was saying, "Well, you're racist for thinking this way."
Okay.
So I made a video that said, "I'm not racist at all." I actually followed a lot of Black American,
Yeah.
Conservatives.
conservative TikTokers, and I
Yeah.
said, "Hey, if you guys have any more that I haven't heard of, drop them in my comments."
Yeah.
And I guess she was she was named like a lot on there. So I
yeah.
clicked on her profile to follow her, and she was already following me. I'm like, "Holy crap!"
You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I made it.
So I didn't actually get to view any of her videos yet. And when I
Okay.
started to see some of the people I started following, because it started popping up on my For You page,
Yeah.
she made me laugh. She was so funny.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
I thought she was just brilliant. The way that she would say things,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
my God, like this woman is amazing.
Yeah.
And it started there. It started as a friendship. I actually had a podcast and I invited her on as a guest.
Okay,
And
okay.
I invited her on for a second time, and that's kind of when we came together.
Ooh, when the vibes
Yeah.
began.
Yeah.
When
The
you're like,
vibing.
let's get some Stevie Wonder in the background.
You
Hey.
know. Hey.
Oh my God, good on you guys. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
That's awesome. So another thing that I know everyone's like now knows about you is being pro guns. Okay, now here I have a bit of feelings towards
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So, okay, and mine is purely it's okay. It's not the entire. I'm not against guns in
Right,
general.
right.
No, it's just for me. I think the access to creates a problem for me,
Right.
especially in countries like America, where you can literally just walk into a store and buy one. It
True.
worries me for
Kind
the
of.
for the kids who essentially go and shoot up schools,
Okay,
whether it's access
Yeah.
within their homes or whether
Or-
they've gone and bought. And for me, my big issue, most big one, is the fact that they can access them home at home. So, for example, I have a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
and in my house, there's no day you'll find my child with a knife. Not because there are no knives in the house,
But because he knows better.
pure, not even because he knows better, but also in the young age, because kids are kids.
Yeah,
She's
they'll
a toddler.
always- yeah.
She's not at the age of fully understanding some things. But I have actively had to. This is why we call it child proofing. You understand what I mean? You have to take those measures
Safekeeping
as
of-
the parent.
Yep.
It's your responsibility.
It is, yep.
So in the most recent case with the mom who basically told her son, "You should have hid it better." That really triggered me because I'd know, like with the child, I'm like, you got issues, nobody has really dealt with them, and this was your way of like screaming out. I get that. My problem is now in that, especially because for a very long time I felt that way. I'm like, but where were the parents? Why did your
Right.
child have access to the firearms you have in your house?
It's carelessness.
That makes
It
no
is.
sense
It
to
is,
me.
yep.
I have no problem with you having firearms. You do you. But my
You should
issue
know
is
better.
why do the children in the house have the chance
Right.
to access the firearms and then go and harm others?
Right.
And then kill. You understand what I mean? That
Yep.
was my big
No,
challenge.
that is a very valid fear, and I understand where you're coming from.
Because that's my big problem. I'm
Yeah.
like, Mom, Dad, please, there's gun safety. Take those measures. Why do you have a fully loaded gun just
Sitting
chilling somewhere
around.
that a 13-year-old can physically pick up,
Right.
put in their backpack, and go to school with?
Yeah.
Even you as the mom, you're not checking on your kids enough because
Yeah.
how did your child carry a firearm to school and you had no idea?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, Mom, Dad, where on earth were you in the parenting?
They're
Like,
absent.
where were you?
They're absent.
They're absent.
Do you get? And
Yeah.
that's my issue now in
I
terms of
see where you're coming
that's
from, and
my
I
issue.
agree with you. So
Yeah.
that's a two-pronged thing. So one is carelessness, lack
Yes.
of gun safety,
Yes.
and number two is mental illness.
Yes.
that is not being
Yes, addressed. Yes.
So it's a very bad mix.
Yeah.
The first rule of owning a gun is learning how to handle the gun.
Yes.
Not just how to go and pew pew. It's also how to dismantle, how to keep it safe.
Safe,
How
yes.
to even when I
Yep,
carry,
Yeah.
like when I'm carrying my firearm, it's never loaded. When it's loaded, technically, it's not chambered.
Okay.
Meaning, nini haikai kwa the nini.
It's not ready.
You can't just pull the trigger. It's not ready to go.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
to
yeah.
Cork it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you know, and I do that really because even for my own safety, like I
Yes.
know how to operate. Like, I'm like, I'm
Yes.
paranoid.
Yes.
There's like 3 safeties. I'm like, that's me. Kama iko kwa nyumba, we have safes.
Yes.
You know, it's a 3-step thing. So
Yeah.
there's a lock. I always have a safety. Lazima. You have to be smart when you have kids.
Agreed.
I have a 5-year-old. Same.
Yes.
You know, he has younger kids from a previous marriage.
Yeah.
And you have to be smart. And then you educate them. I told my
Yes.
son, you need to teach your children, Baba, if you see a pew pew, what do? Get an adult.
Very
you don't
fast.
touch it? No. Okay,
Very
good.
fast.
Very fast. And
Yeah.
he knows better.
Yeah.
So you have to be very conscious and responsible to be a gun owner. And
Agreed.
but then I was very anti-guns until I got threats on TikTok. I started getting a lot of threats for my stand. Yeah. Oh, I was niliambiwa. Oh,
Yeah.
you're
Death
causing
threats all the time.
division
Yep.
in the
You're
black
kidding me.
America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how dare you as a Kenyan come and tell us we're not oppressed? Agakeke. So I
yeah.
just signed up. I got a gun. I got some
It
training.
was that severe?
Nikamwambia,
Oh, we
if
get
you want to
that
do
all the
something,
time.
good
Every day.
wangu. Yeah.
Yep, every day.
It was crazy.
That's scary.
Yeah. Now,
That's actually quite scary.
Some
You
other-
guys don't even have walls and gates in.
Nope.
yeah, some other misconceptions. You know, a lot of people think it's really, really easy in America to go get a gun.
Yeah.
We do have laws against it. If you are a felon, you can't get guns. If you
Right.
have,
They do a background check.
yeah, if you were arrested overnight for any kind of
Violent.
violent
Anything.
situation,
Yeah.
you can't get a gun.
Yeah.
So I mean, we do have restrictions. Some people have waiting periods. Some states don't.
Yeah.
So it all depends. So if you're innocent, you can get a gun. If you've ever had any issues, you really
you
can't
can't,
get a gun.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's really the responsibility of the parents that we're lacking. That's the issue. It's not the freedoms that we're
And
we're
guns
having
don't
issues
people-
with.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
People with guns kill people, not the guns. The gun doesn't
Yeah.
have a hand. Haitaenda kushoot peke yake.
Agreed. No,
Sitting
agreed.
there minding its business.
No, I fully
you know?
agree. I fully agree.
So-
okay, it's interesting that we've got that. So as I mentioned earlier, our character development topic. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? He got gifted the gift that from his girlfriend.
Aye, that's a red flag. Because first of all, recycling gifts is not right. Let's start there. Unless it's a gift card, that doesn't count as a gift card. It's generic. But if say if like he gave me a bracelet that he then I found it was the X's.
Yeah.
It's on.
It's
and
disrespectful.
they were doing something with my girl.
Yeah.
Whatever will you block?
Immediate with
Block.
immediate effect.
Hey.
I'm glad you shared the same. We've got the same responses. Everyone online is just like, leave. They're telling me, tell your friend to leave that girl. That's it. That end that relationship.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys, it was so good having you on. I
Thank
feel
you.
like We need to have like an Instagram
Another part
live.
3 and a part
I
4.
swear to God,
Hey.
like on Icon Radio, just be like on live and just do this again.
Yup.
But it's been such a good show.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I know right now everyone is on like turn up mode. I know Hitch is going to be a cheche mode. It's turn up the whole weekend. This Friday, we've got enough events happening in the
TGIF.
254. It's Christmas tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you know, Merry Christmas, everybody. Have yourselves a jolly good time.
Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You are on the stage with Sandra and DJ Hitch. Catch you guys in 2022. Adios.
Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.